Hello there and welcome back to episode 2. As you can see, this is where we left off. Not much. We don't have a lot going. We've got some farms and stuff, but something has changed. The Minecraft gods are pleased with my progress in episode 1 and have given me a custom skin. It's terrible. It is the worst skin ever, but I have a feeling it's going to get better as we get through these episodes. So let's get into it. So in today's episode, I was going to go down to the caves and show you some caving, but then I said to myself, that's, both pretty boring and everyone does it. And we still don't have much going on up here. So yes, I took you through farming last week, but this is a pretty basic farm. This is not as awesome as I want it to be. So we're going to spend some time, we're going to do the farm up a bit more, and yeah, I'll explain more about the basics of farming. But before that, I just want to go through storage really quickly. Okay, here we've got the two basic methods of storage. We've got a barrel and we've got a chest. Both of them hold all the stuff that you don't want to have. This is your personal inventory on you all the time, and this will be somewhere to store it. So as you can see, I've been busy collecting some dirt, some wood. I even got some iron. We'll get into that in a second. But these are the two basic methods of storing. A chest is 8 planks of wood. I wonder if I've got 8 planks. I don't know what it is. No, I'll have 8 planks. So a chest is 8 planks of wood in a circle. Boom. If you get 2 of them and you put them together next to each other, side by side, they turn into a mega chest, which gives you double the storage, obviously, but it's all in one place. Very useful, kind of expensive. The other one, barrel. 2 slabs, 6 down the sides. It's pretty cheap. It cannot be joined together, but you can stack them on top of each other, etc. Alright, storage done. So off camera, I've just been harvesting berries, and it's time to harvest the crops. I've got a lot of potatoes now. I don't have much wheat, I don't have much carrots, so they're going down first. And we do this over and over and over again. The berries are really fast. They're giving me all the food I need. I haven't really been eating anything else because these guys are so productive. And a moment before doing my intro, I killed a zombie that gave me both these pieces of armor. So let's put them on. So I've got something better than nothing. Yay! And while I'm here, we may as well take care of business. Episode 2, done. So off camera, I've been developing the idea of what my base is going to start looking like. I'm going to put the farms here on this tiered land up. As you can see, I've put some stairs up to the top level. And then I'm going to have my base hanging out over the edge here. I'm still thinking about the best design for it, but some sort of house sitting over the top of the water there. All this land, then, is for farming. In Minecraft, you farm a lot. You farm for a whole bunch of things. Right now, we're just farming for food and resources, but once we get a bit further along in the game, we're going to be using these to trade with villagers and get some emeralds and do other things. So it's always good to have your farms going the whole time. So I kind of like the way this is looking. I've just put a border around. Down here is just going to be no man's land anyway. Up here, I'm going to be building the farm on each of the layers. So let's get through a bit more of that. Just going to start out with what I know I want a path to have. So you can create path blocks, which is sort of like this squished down grass. If this is normal grass and it's green, this squished down grass looks like that on purpose. Just by right clicking it with a shovel. I don't like that. Do you see how you can see that fine slither of sand in behind? Nuh-uh, no cool. And there we've got it. At least the ground level is done now. So I've already made some, but I'll show you how. We're going to make some torches to light the place up. We're going to light it up so that the ice doesn't melt the water, and that the water will then always keep the farm crops damp. Doesn't make sense now, I understand. These are torches, they're really useful. I don't want to make them. A stick and a coal, doesn't have to be 4. This will just make you 4. So for each 1 stick, 1 coal, you get 4 torches. Okay, the time has come. We need a bucket, and a bucket is really, really important. I would say more important than armor to farming. No, armor is important too, but I'm going to do things sort of transitional. We're going to work on the farm. I want to make the farm nice and pretty, and then we'll move on to getting armor and other things like that. I noticed the other day while I was just taking a look around the area, and this happens quite a bit, iron is usually in the face. If this was cobblestone, which is not, or stone I should say, if this was a stone mountain, then you might find it just randomly, sporadically placed in the middle there. It has an ability to spawn basically at this level, but exposed. It also can be found underwater. So I've already got 2. I need just a couple more, and that'll do it. I place the blocks there so that when I'm standing on it, I can mine the block quite quickly. If you're swimming and floating, it'll take a long time. Oh, almost died. Better eat my berries. Berries. Okay, that should get me enough iron for a bucket. Alright, a bucket is super important because we're going to be putting water blocks sporadically placed throughout the farm. A water block will penetrate 4 tilled blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It will come to here, it won't go to there, and I'll show you exactly that. That'll probably all disappear by the time I get a bucket. Take the iron ingots. As you can see, you can make armor and things out of them too, but I'm going to make a bucket, which is just 3 in a curve like that. A bucket can pick up water, transfer it for you. I'm going to put it here. Because of the light, that shouldn't freeze. Shouldn't. And you're going to see that this one will turn dark, that'll turn dark, that'll turn dark, that'll turn dark, but that one won't. But now that I got that bucket down, well, let's see how far it goes. So it's probably not going to get these guys either. Didn't get him. Put another one there. I don't really want them on the pathway, but... then that should be that. We should have the whole bottom layer here and now done. Now I'm going to separate these into different crops. You know, I'll put something I don't really use there, like wheat, I don't know, potatoes, carrots. We'll get some different crops going. Will I abandon this farm here? Yes, yes I will. It's not that I don't like you, it's that it was never meant to be. I like carrots. You will use bread a lot, and wheat a lot, particularly with villages. I am joking about using this as the wheat farm. The big one will probably be the wheat farm. This one will probably be beetroots or something. Or potatoes. I guess you can cook potatoes. And as I'm not using really any of them at the moment, I can plant all of them. I have a lot of potatoes already. So you can imagine just how many potatoes I'm going to end up with, which is exactly why we do large-scale farming. If you jump on tilled soil, it will turn it back to normal dirt. Otherwise you have to wait for it to dry out. If it's next to a water source, it won't dry out. If it doesn't dry out, it will always stay tilled soil. Which is why you might need to jump on something. Okay, so let's quickly answer, what am I going to do with all of the potatoes that I don't use? Because I've just planted 50 of the extra ones I had in storage, and obviously there's still much more cropland to go, and I intend on filling every square inch of it. And then this layer is also going to be a farmland tier, and then this layer will also have farmland tier. So what am I going to do with all of this stuff? And that brings up an important part of farming, which is the composter. You get a composter with 8 slabs. 8? I can't remember what I clicked on. 7 slabs. 7 slabs is all you need for a composter. That's going to turn into this box here. It's a pretty unique box. I'm just going to chuck it there. It makes a bit of sense to have somewhere visible. So you can fill this with organic items, and it will eventually give you something called bone meal. Bone meal is one of these magical pieces of fertilizer. No, I'm just going to... Sorry, carrot. I didn't mean to do that. I will plant you. Okay. So you can put organic food in the composter, and it will slowly fill to the top. I think I need one more. And it will give you this. This is bone meal. This is magical. I'm going to show you what it does in the morning. It's just how I roll. This is a pumpkin plant I've got almost fully grown. They take a good long time. Now I want to skip that step. I use bone meal. And it's gone to the next step. Soon it'll be growing pumpkins. So you can use your excess crops for bone meal as well. Bone meal is really good for making things happen now. Okay, so there's still a bit to go. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this done off camera. I've got to go collect some more resources, and that will be really boring for you to watch. So I'm going to go do that. Do these guys eat the berries? Do you eat these? No, you're just interested in what I'm doing. Going to get the rest of this done off camera, and see you soon. What are you doing up here? Look at this guy chilling under the shade. And it's official. I've moved in. Woohoo! Ah, my first night at a new house. Okay, that took a lot longer than expected. I ran out of both wood and dirt and had to go replenish those twice. So I hope you enjoy it. Voila. So you've seen the base tier before. We've just continued that up onto the next level and the next level again. I'm going to have my house over the top of the water here. Obviously this is not it, and this is not as small as it will be. Obviously there's not much room here, but that's just where I've moved for now, so that it's not down there with all the stuff. These bunnies with the red eyes, they freak me out. Okay, so I thought I'd finish up the episode with some of the basics to do with farming. Obviously, we've run into these guys before, but I'll just explain a bit more how they did. Ooh, also I built this over the top of my berries so that I can't walk into them and get prickled. Just some trapdoors. If I can't get to the berries, I can lift the trapdoors up. I can get prickled, but other than that, don't need to. Can harvest and collect from either side. Berries don't need water like other crops, so it's okay. But this is all frozen. For the basics, wheat. You get wheat seeds by going around, breaking down grass, and eventually they pop up. This will probably be the easiest crop for you to find because obviously grass is everywhere. You plant that, away you have wheat. Wheat is growing. Wheat will eventually grow up to look like this guy. When you harvest it, you'll get both seeds and wheat, and you can turn the wheat into bread and cakes and cookies and other things. It's pretty useful. Beetroots, which I don't have, also work in the same way. Plant seed. When you harvest, it gives you both beetroot and seed. You have to replant the seed. Carrots and potatoes work slightly differently in that you plant the potato and you plant the carrot. And then when you harvest them, you get carrots back and potatoes back. But other than that, they work pretty much the same way. Hi. So by now you've seen how berries work. Pick the berries, don't harvest the plant, it'll grow more berries. What we've got here is a pumpkin. Pumpkin still hasn't grown. Basically you need a tilled soil to plant the seed in. Pumpkins do grow from seeds. It will then grow a main stem, and then on any of the blocks randomly adjacent to it, as long as there's nothing there, it will plant a pumpkin. I'm pretty sure this one hasn't produced a pumpkin because maybe it can't plant on snow. I'm gonna figure that out. This should keep that snow in check. I wonder if I just stand here and give it a second. Melons also work the exact same way. One central stem, then it will drop a block of pumpkin or melon around the outside. Okay, one last thing, trees. I know what you're thinking, they're everywhere. Why do I need to plant them? Well, yes, trees are everywhere. Spruce trees are particularly here. If I look around, they're the only trees I can see. They're the only trees I can see. So if I wanted anything different, I have to walk a long way away, get them, bring all the stuff back, build whatever. The tree woods look differently when they're used differently. In short, you will be collecting trees from other areas, bringing back these things called saplings. It's almost impossible not to get a sapling or two when you cut down some trees. The leaf blocks will just randomly drop them. See? Thank you for being on cue. So obviously, this is a birch tree. They don't grow here, and I'd really like to get some more birch wood for building. I'm going to need it later. So 2 things you can do. You can plant it straight into the ground and wait, and eventually it will pop into a tree. Or bone meal. That's a bone meal, instant tree. Cool. If you take all the wood from a tree, these leaf blocks won't stay there. They'll start disappearing and dropping sticks, saplings, if it's an oak tree, apples as well. And then they will completely vanish. Randomly dropped. Thank you. It's like it's on cue. I swear, I'm not even doing it. Okay, there's one other thing you should be farming, and that is sugarcane. Now, sugarcane needs to be planted right next to a water source block. It needs to be planted in either soil or sand. It won't grow in anything else. So gravel here, nothing, right? Sand, yes. If it has a water source block and then that water source block is removed, it won't grow. It just falls off, okay? Pretty simple. You use this a lot for paper. Oh, see, it froze. Okay, you weren't meant to be. That's why the light source is here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze everything. I'll figure out a way of making this work better when I get some pumpkins. Any pumpkins? No pumpkins. I'm determined to have a pumpkin. It doesn't need to be tilled soil, but I believe that watered tilled soil increases the chances of it happening. Not a successful sugarcane farm. Oh. It was more for a demonstration anyway. Literally the world's slowest growing pumpkin. While waiting on pumpkin. So I already have more potatoes than the entire bottom plot put together. What happened to this poor rabbit? I will remember you. The trees are growing faster than this pumpkin. So I'm not sure if I showed you guys this. I removed where the campfire was, and I also put a nice chair in so that I could sit there, watch the frozen lake and animals walking across it. And yeah, just add a bit more to the feel. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Waiting for this pumpkin is taking too long, and this is gonna be enough editing as it is. So, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. I literally stopped recording and it grew. I didn't even stop recording my audio yet, and that's grown. So there you go, pumpkin.